This is Lance Strumpf, and I'm a attorney at law, and I'm also a real estate broker with the California Department of Real Estate. I had a client, or have a client, who owns some really, really special properties throughout Southern California. And one of the properties he owned or owns is an apartment building in Newport Beach, and a really cool market and grill downstairs, which was right at where the Balboa Ferry crosses onto Balboa Island. When my client bought the market, he inherited the lease with the tenant. But after a few years, the tenant decided he didn't want to operate the market anymore. He was having some issues at home, nothing terrible, but he wanted to sell. He hired the Veld Group to represent him in the sale with the existing lease. And the problem was that my client didn't like necessarily any of the candidates that were being brought in as the new operator of the market. And he wanted to maintain the tradition of the market. There was no way he could do that because basically he wouldn't have any control over the tenant in terms of, what they carry, the menu. When I met Ryan, I tried to explain it to him that there was a certain amount of discretion involved in the owner accepting an assignment of the lease from the new tenant. And Ryan knew the law very well, probably better than me. And he said, well, your client cannot refuse this, and he cannot unreasonably withhold consent. In the end, Ryan and I structured a deal where my client bought out the business of his existing tenant, took control of the market himself. He was able to do something at the market that was his vision, and it's been very successful. We were sort of adversaries and butting heads, and we ended up working together, which I think is terrific. And I thought he was terrific, and he was knowledgeable and super persistent. And with creative thinking, we were able to come up with a solution. And he still has a relationship with my client. What I liked about Ryan was that he was a gentleman, and despite the difficulties and the personality conflicts, he was civil. He made dealing with him in a difficult situation pleasant.